Hello, how are you? I hope you're fine. Today we're going to start with our almost last unit, okay? The 7th unit. Remember, if you have questions, write me to my email. Good. So let's start by this. Remember the last class we talked about relative clauses, talked about superlatives and comparatives. And today we're going to talk about all conditional constructions and about irregular verbs. Okay? Good. So, what's a conditional construction? Let's see. Of course, it's a construction that shows condition. Yes. But let's see some examples. If or when. If I wake up late, I make up myself in the bus. If it rains today, I won't go out. If I were a boy, I would look for fights everywhere. And finally, if he hadn't been so stubborn, he would have had better relationships with his daughters. Okay, so let's see. All these structures, todas estas estructuras muestran condición. Que para que algo suceda, ciertas condiciones tienen que darse. Por ejemplo, en la primera dice, if I wake up late, o when I wake up late. Entonces, si yo despierto tarde o cuando despierto tarde, me maquillo en la micro. ¿Ya? Entonces, para que yo me maquille en la micro, se tiene que dar la condición de que o me desperté tarde o me desperté tarde. Eso. ¿Te fijas? Entonces, eso es una estructura condicional. Que nos dice que nos muestra condiciones que se tienen que reunir para que suceda algo. ¿Ya? Hay 4 tipos de estructuras condicionales en inglés. 4 conditional constructions in English. And each one has a different grammatical structure. Okay? The first one is the conditional 0 shows something that is always true. ¿Ya? El condicional 0, que es el primero, que lo vamos a ir viendo de a poco, no te preocupes, es el que siempre es verdad. Esas condiciones se encuentran y siempre va a pasar lo que dice la sentencia. En el segundo dice, if it rains today, si llueve hoy, I won't go out. No saldré. Entonces dice que si pasa tal cosa, es muy posible que yo no salga. Diferente del de arriba, que si pasa tal cosa, siempre pasa lo otro. ¿Te fijas? Esa, la primera diferencia va en el significado. La segunda diferencia va en la estructura gramatical. ¿Ya? If I were a boy, si yo fuera un chico, I would look for fights everywhere. Buscaría peleas en todos lados. ¿Ya? ¿Y qué característica tiene esta condición? Que es imposible o muy difícil que pase. ¿Por qué? Porque yo no puedo ser un chico. No puedo ser un niño, porque soy niña. Entonces, el último, que es el condicional número 3, dice, if he hadn't been so stubborn, si no hubiese sido tan como cabeza dura, hubiese tenido mejores relaciones con sus hijas. Impossible to happen, because it refers to the past. Y la última es totalmente imposible, porque está hablando del pasado. Ya el pasado no se puede cambiar. Entonces tenemos 4 tipos de estructuras condicionales. La 0, que es siempre real, siempre es verdad, siempre pasa. La segunda, que es muy posible que suceda. La tercera, que es imposible o casi imposible que pase. Y la última es que simplemente es imposible porque se refiere al pasado. ¿Ya? Perfect. So let's start working with the first conditional, or the conditional 0. Good. You see? So we use them to express that something could happen provided certain factors were gathered. Entonces estamos hablando que las cosas siempre o pueden pasar si algunos factores se han reunido. So there are 4 ways of expressing conditions. These are called conditional types 0, 1, 2, and 3. They are very different from one another, as in form as in meaning, as you could see. Let's revise once again. There they are, the 4 of them. You already know their meaning? Good. So let's see conditional type 0. If I wake up late, I make up myself in the bus, which is always true. This conditional is used to talk about general truths, scientific facts, and things that always happen under certain conditions. When there is an earthquake near the sea, everybody runs to the hills. Cuando hay un terremoto cerca del mar, todos corren a los cerros. Something that is always true. If my mom gets angry, she hits me with a wooden spoon. Simple present and simple present. ¿Te fijas? Está marcado con colores cada estructura. ¿Qué significa que sea simple present? Que es algo que pasa en el presente, ¿ya? Y que suele suceder, que pasa a menudo. O simplemente siempre pasa. Por eso esa es la estructura. Perfecto. The next one. Conditional type 1. If it rains today, I won't go out, which is very possible. It's possible that I won't go out. Okay? This is like the real conditional, because it is very likely that the condition is met. Ya, este es como el condicional real, porque es muy posible que la condición se suceda. If you keep screaming, I will leave you here alone. If you keep screaming, I will leave you here alone. If she practices every day, she'll become an expert soon. If that dog barks tonight, I will kick it out. Fíjate en la estructura. Entonces primero tenemos el if. Siempre va a partir con if. Luego, es presente simple otra vez. Sí, es presente simple. El primer verbo es el que manda. You keep screaming. Tú te continúas gritando. Eso dice. ¿Ya? She practices. Practica todos los días. El perro ladra. Ok. Y la siguiente estructura es futuro. Simple future. Will. ¿Ya? Perfect. So, if plus simple present past plus simple future. And this is the conditional type 1. If something happens, something will happen later. Good. Conditional type 2. If I were a boy, I would look for fights everywhere. This is the impossible or unlikely conditional. It is known as the unreal conditional because it is impossible or too unlikely that the condition can become true. Okay? If I were a millionaire, I would help everyone to make their dreams come true. It's almost impossible that I become a millionaire. Okay? Or you, or I don't know. Normal people or average people don't become millionaires from out of thin air, okay? If she were an angel, it's impossible. She couldn't be an angel. She wouldn't do that. And if we were your parents, you would behave yourself. We couldn't be your parents because you already have parents, you say? So, look at the structure again. This always starts with if. Then, there is a structure in simple past. Fíjate que incluso cuando dice I o she, usamos la palabra were. Eso es lo más común. En este tipo de condicional, aunque sea I was, se dice I were. ¿Ya? Si yo fuera. Lo mismo con she. En vez de decir she was, se dice she were. ¿Es correcto si dices she was? Sí, es correcto. Pero lo más común es que digas were. Y aquí está la estructura. Entonces decimos que todas empiezan con if. Luego viene el simple past. Después siempre viene el would. Porque es, si hubiese pasado esto, yo haría tal cosa. Esto es lo que dice este condicional. ¿Ya? Luego viene the verb in base form. I would help. I would kill. En vez de ser to kill o killing, ¿ya? Eso, un base form es un verbo que no tiene nada, que está así, solo. Help, kill, heal, hear, etc. Y después viene información adicional si fuera necesario. ¿Ya? Eso es opcional. Finally, we have the conditional type 3. If he hadn't been so stubborn, he wouldn't have had a better relationship with his daughter. This is impossible to happen because it refers to the past. The condition, as I said, is never met because it refers to a past situation. Let's revise the example. If she hadn't acted like a brat, I would have helped her out. Si ella no hubiese actuado como una tonta, yo le hubiese ayudado. If he hadn't taken care of his pet, if he had taken care of his pet, he wouldn't have died so soon. If he had taken care of his pet, it wouldn't have died so soon. If they had practiced, they would have won. So, in this conditional, the type 3, we use the past perfect, okay? So you use if, past perfect, would, have, y el resto que dice ahí, verb in past participle and additional information if it's needed. Entonces hablamos de lo que ya pasó, ¿ya? Por eso usa el past perfect. Si ella no hubiese hecho tal cosa, yo habría hecho esta otra. Eso se refiere a este condicional, que si alguien no hubiese actuado de cierta forma en el pasado, yo haría o no haría lo que estoy haciendo ahora, o lo que no podría hacer. Entonces es algo que no puede pasar, porque se refiere al pasado, no se puede cambiar. ¿Ya? Perfect. That's conditional type 3. So let's practice a little bit. Read carefully every sentence. Sentence number 1. If I were a millionaire. Sentence number 2. He wouldn't have had an accident. And sentence number 3. I'll watch a soap opera. A soap opera es como una teleserie. Yeah? And in the second column we have, if I finish early, I would buy a luxury vehicle, and if he had driven carefully. Quiero que sepas que las oraciones con if o con when pueden ir al principio o al final, da lo mismo, ¿ya? No es una regla. Vimos puras al principio porque es lo más común, pero también pueden ir al final. Puede ir primero la oración y después la condición. Todo depende. ¿Ya? Eso. Entonces, la primera. If I were a millionaire. Look, the numbers that will appear on board correspond to the second column, ¿ok? Los números que van a aparecer en la pantalla van a corresponder a la segunda columna, ¿ya? O sea, por ejemplo, el primer número que va a aparecer va a ser el que corresponda a la primera respuesta de la segunda columna. If I finish early, ¿ya? Entonces empecemos por ese, perdón. If I finish early, yes. The first one is, I'll watch a soap opera. Let's say, if I finish early, I'll watch a soap opera. Si termino temprano, veré una teleserie. The second one, I would buy a luxury vehicle. Yes, number 1. If I were a millionaire, I would buy a luxury vehicle. Or, I would buy a luxury vehicle if I were a millionaire. You see? The same thing could happen in the first sentence. I watch a soap opera if I finish early. And the last one, he wouldn't have had an accident if he had... He wouldn't have had an accident if he had driven carefully. If he had driven carefully, he wouldn't have an accident. So, the last one, el que estamos viendo recién, corresponde a conditional type 3, the impossible one, ¿ya? El que es imposible porque nos referimos al pasado. If he had driven carefully, he wouldn't have had an accident. Okay. The second one, I would buy a luxury vehicle if I were a millionaire. It's the conditional type 2, because it's unlikely, quite unlikely to happen. Okay? And the other one, the first one, if I finish early, I'll watch a soap opera, is conditional type 1. That is something that could probably happen. Okay? Good. So now let's go to the irregular verbs. And remember, if you have questions regarding conditionals, just let me know. Send me emails questioning this, okay? Good. So let's remember about the regular and irregular verbs. You know them? I know you know them, because they're very common. They are those weird fellows that change when we talk in the past, okay? For example, remember that normally when we talk about past experiences, we say things like this. I liked my ex-boyfriend a lot. This is in the past. And it's a regular verb, okay? But now let's see this example. I ate apples last night. Past form from eat, irregular verb. Entonces, la primera dice que me gustaba mi ex-pololo mucho. Me gustaba mucho mi ex-pololo. ¿Ya? Liked is a regular verb. And ate is an irregular verb. ¿Por qué? Porque cambia el verbo totalmente. No se le agrega una ed o una d. Eso es básicamente la diferencia entre los verbos regulares y los verbos irregulares. So you see? They behave in an irregular way because they don't take the ed or d endings. You see? Good. So let's watch a video where you can recognize irregular verbs.
I'm so happy to be home.
I bet. So, tell us what happened.
Well, on Thursday afternoon, I saw the weather forecast on the TV in the hotel, and it said there was a big storm coming.
Yes, that was when we spoke.
That's right. So, I took a taxi to the airport straight away. I wanted to leave before the storm came. Good idea. Did you get to the airport okay? Yes, I got there, but hundreds of other people had the same idea. The storm arrived faster than anybody expected, so there were no flights. The roads to the airport was completely flooded, so nobody could go back into town. We got stuck in the airport.
Did you think it would be for so long?
Not at all. We all thought one night, possibly two. Did you have enough food? I bought some food on the first day, but it wasn't very good by the third day. On my birthday, I had a packet of crisps and a 2-day-old sandwich for lunch.
Poor Mum.
What about the bathrooms at the airport? Were you able to have a shower? No. The water pipes froze, so after the first day there wasn't any water. It wasn't nice.
That's disgusting. Oh.
Don't worry, I'm clean now. So, what did you do all day in the airport? I met some really nice people. We talked, read, played cards. When they found out it was my birthday, one of them gave me his last bar of chocolate. Oh, cute. It was a strange feeling having no internet connection, no phone line. It was horrible not being able to phone you two. We're all so used to being connected all the time. It was hard. I know you think I'm on holiday when I'm working, but it's not always easy, you know.
Happy birthday, Mum.
Good, so you see? Most verbs that were in orange were irregular verbs. Okay, see, those in orange then were irregular verbs. And the only way that you can learn them actually is by heart. La única forma de aprenderlos es memorizándolos. ¿Por qué? Porque no hay reglas establecidas para decir cuál verbo es regular y cuál es irregular. Simplemente, cuando uno lee libros, por ejemplo, se familiariza harto con cuáles son regulares y cuáles no. Y recuerda, la simple diferencia es que unos terminan con ed o d y los otros la palabra cambia. ¿Ya? So I bet you saw this list at least once in your life. This is the list of irregular verbs. Here you can see most of your existent regular verbs. So for example, we have be, was, were, been, beat, or the most common are like break, broke, broken, build, built, built. Remember that there are three columns. Hay tres columnas porque hay una que se usa en el pasado simple y la otra en el pasado perfecto. Cuando hablamos de yo hice, usamos la segunda columna. Yo comí, yo pegué, yo no sé, tomé, lo que sea. Y la tercera columna se usa cuando dice que yo he hecho algo. I have done something. I have done something. I have eaten a cake. I have driven drunk. I have fallen from the sky. I don't know. Whatever. You see? So you have buy, bought, brought, choose, chose, chosen, cut, cut, cut. Hay algunos verbos irregulares que ni siquiera cambian. Su pasado es igual en sus tres formas. En presente, pasado y en pasado participio. Hay varias palabras así. Hay otras que solamente cambian el presente y el pasado participio es igual al presente. O al revés. El presente y el pasado participio son iguales y el pasado simple es el que cambia. Todo depende. Por eso es importante aprendérselos de memoria. No todos, pero sí los más comunes. Los que tú usas a diario. Por ejemplo, no sé. Hurt, hold, hit, make, lose, lie, put, read, swim, say, send, sit, sleep, smell, speak, stand, steal, whatever. Whatever you think is necessary, learn it. And if you're going to travel abroad, please learn these words. They are very useful for you. Okay? So for you to communicate. Good. So what did we learn today? Today we learned about the 4 types of conditional structures. The conditional 0, 1, 2, and 3. Good. And we also learned about the irregular verbs. So remember, if you have questions, just write me to my email. Next class is our last lesson. So I hope you enjoyed everything we've done and you learned a lot. Okay? So have a good day. Bye bye.